Both Salena Zito and I are happy. She, of course, the Inzer report is always happy, but the Browns beat the Ravens yesterday with Jameis Winston at the helm, and therefore we helped the Steelers out, Salena. So that's good for you. Give us the state of play in Pennsylvania. Which way is the Keystone State going to go a week Tuesday?
Well, every poll shows it tied and or Trump ahead, incrementally small, a little bit ahead. I would rather be Trump than Harris today in Pennsylvania. He has the momentum at his back. She has never really been a very good fit for the state, sort of like Hillary, only a little bit worse. And right now, it looks like that's where the outcome is heading, where she really struggles with the working class voter that Obama shed in my state in 2012. In 2008, he won my state by almost 11 percentage points. By 2012, that number had reduced to just over 4 percentage points. He left 300,000 people on the field, right? They didn't vote that year. Romney didn't.
I've got the number. You mean 2016 and 2020?
No, I'm just talking about how the working class has moved away, and by 2016, Hillary was unable to recapture what Obama had done in 2008 in my state, and she struggles with the same problem. I think it's been a mistake for her to bring the Obama family out because it has reminded working class voters of what they thought of them in the waning days of his presidency.
Now, Salena, there's a good chance that you and I and David Urban were at the same gas station when we were in high school at some point. Because, you'd go up to Warren and I'd go down to Pittsburgh, and David was in between in Beaver, Pennsylvania. And the three of us think Trump looks very, very good in Western PA. What I do not know is what the machine in Philadelphia can deliver. What can the machine in Philadelphia deliver?
That's always the big question. I mean, Bob Brady, the former congressman, is in charge of it. He's always been very good in getting people out to vote. However, there, at least in the early voting in Pennsylvania, there seems to be a bit of a malaise among the voters in Philadelphia. So it's going to be, she needs to have at least 500,000 votes coming out of Philly in on election night, and if that's not happening, she's not going to win.
We've got John Ralston and a couple of center right. John's a lefty, but we got some center right people to check him, and it does look like Nevada is Trump's. Does it look that way in the Pennsylvania early vote?
Not in the early vote, but because of a mix of things. A lot of Trump voters are still registered Democrats, so it's hard to tell. The turnout for a Democrat could be a turnout for Trump. I remember in 2006, do you remember voter vault? That was the sort of big thing that the Republicans had where they could identify their voter. And I remember them saying, oh, we're going to win the midterms because our voters are turning out. And I was reporting on the ground and I said, yeah, your voters are turning out, but they're not turning out for you. And I suspect that might be part of what's going on in Pennsylvania.
A question, and I ask you to stay with the break with me. I want to talk to you about the media. On Thursday night, I did an event with Mike Gallagher and Larry Elder and Chris Stegall in Philadelphia at the Fuge. 700 people. More than half were Catholic, Salena. Oh, yeah. And I mentioned Archbishop Chaput, and I got a spontaneous round of applause. Do you think the Catholic vote in Pennsylvania is going to break decidedly? I mean, Kamala Harris is so anti-Catholic. I think they know that. I think Catholics in PA know that. Do you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. She is not going to win the Catholic vote in my state. Not she probably won't win the Hispanic Catholic vote, which tends to be a little more left leaning than the white Catholic vote. And she just the Democrats period have a problem with the Catholic vote. They haven't won the Catholic vote in a national race since Obama in 2008. As faith has become less and less talked about in the Democratic Party and now mocked in the Democratic Party, Catholics don't really take kindly to that. You have the issue with Governor Whitmer, which she was doing with that. I don't even know what she was doing with that
Dorito Communion.
Dorito.
Stand by, because I got to talk to you about Dave McCormick and Legacy Media and Josh Shapiro, because I have a sneaking suspicion that Pennsylvanians who like Josh Shapiro and want to see him on top of a Democratic ticket and in the White House are going to vote for Donald Trump, because that's the only way Josh Shapiro gets to the White House is if Kamala Harris loses. But I'll ask Salena Zito about that during the break. Posted at YouTube. Don't go anywhere. Hour 2 of the Hugh Hewitt Show is coming up shortly. Back with Salena Zito. Salena, I have 3 things to ask you about. Dave McCormick, Legacy Media, and Josh Shapiro, and whether or not people who like him are going to vote for Trump. Let's go and...
You're watching Salem News Channel. This hour brought to you by ReliefFactor.com. Feel the difference.
Hello, world. Do you see me? Though hidden, I am here, waiting for the rest of my life to unfold. Soon, I will arrive. Or will I? It's really not up to me.
Ultrasounds change minds. Your $60 gift is a matter of life or death for a child.
In the same period of time. They've never been this bad. They've never been this biased. They've never been this broken. And I believe that may mark not beginning of the end, but the end of the end. I really think they're going to plummet in credibility and numbers over the next couple of years, even though Trump's a great draw if he wins. What do you think of their performance? Because I think it's shameful.
It really is. It's broken. And I agree with you. I think that this election is the election, not 2016, because they were able to argue it was a fluke. They thought it was a fluke because Biden won in 2020. I would argue that 2020 was a fluke, largely driven by COVID and the break of normalcy in our lives, and that this is a center right country